Okay, so look, the microphone is positioned. I hope it's positioned properly. Hold on. Because sometimes these little like rubber band things, they just don't be doing it. What's up, gang? I hope you guys are doing okay. If you don't know who I am, my name is Speary. I'm an artist and animator who talks too much, and every new moon and full moon I'd post a video about whatever topic I want to talk about at the time. This time we have a new moon in Taurus, and it's happening May 19th. So this coming Friday, this is when you'll be seeing it. Or if you're a patron, then you're seeing it as soon as I finish it, if it's early. Sometimes I'll post them early and other times I won't, but this time I'm hoping to get it done pretty early and you'll get it as soon as I'm done. If you want these videos early, then consider supporting me on Patreon. It would help a lot. It helps me buy more time to do the things that I love. So I really, really appreciate it if you even consider it. So the topic that we're discussing today, though, is something that I had in mind for quite some time, and it amplified even more after I had finished watching the rehearsal, but that was like a while ago, sometime last year. But angel numbers. Do you know about them? Do you like them? Do you not know about them? Are you indifferent? Either way, we're going to talk about angel numbers. If you don't know what angel numbers are, they're numbers. It's when you see like a set of repeating numbers over and over, or a set of consecutive numbers kind of thing, because I know that sometimes people think that 12 1 2 3 4 is something, and then 11 11 or 3 3 3 or 5 5 5, any of those things, just patterns really. But that's what angel numbers are, and it's a practice in numerology, which is another way of just like seeing the messages that come out of numbers and the patterns that come out of numbers. So angel numbers and seeing those are like that. And apparently when I was doing some like quick research about it, it's been a practice for like hundreds of years, specifically the angel numbers thing. And I guess the difference between like, oh, what's the pattern supposed to be? Why does it have meaning? What does the repeating number kind of thing mean, right? So in that practice, it's just basically like a message or a sign from your guides or God or the universe or whoever you're trying to believe in, your higher self, or just a message pointing you in the right direction. It depends on how you see them. I'll talk about how I see them in a minute, don't worry. But all in all, it's a place where people feel like they're reaching out to their guides and shit, right? The other cool thing about angel numbers is that it's super subjective, but then you could also just have your literal personal experiences with these numbers. People have their own individualistic points that they connect to having an angel number, and that's, I guess, like the cool thing about it is it can mean whatever you want. It's a message for you from your guides. You can see them on clocks, you can see them on cars, you can see them in books, you can see them literally wherever you see numbers at. They could pop up on your microwave. They could just be anywhere, right? You can see them in your bank account. I've seen that a lot too. People be like, "Oh yeah, my bank account 333," and it's okay if it's $3.33. I totally get it, but you just spot the patterns. And that's why I don't have a hard time believing that this is something that humans have practiced for hundreds of years, because humans have always seen patterns and stuff and seen meanings to stuff like since the dawn of time, since we were able to like process things, so yeah, I don't think it's that far-fetched to be like, oh yeah, they started putting their own little thoughts and ideas onto the numbers whenever they repeat multiple times or something, But I guess now we're going into why did I even want to talk about this? And I have multiple reasons, but of course the biggest reason why I was even like called to do this is because I saw the rehearsal. It was so great. It was such a great show. I love Nathan Fielder. I could do a whole separate video talking about my whole stuff on that show, but if you haven't watched it, I'd highly encourage you to watch it. It's definitely a roller coaster of a thing that cannot be expressed with words. You should definitely experience it, you know what I mean? But that being said, there was a specific character on the rehearsal that just really struck a nerve with me. And his name's Robbin. He was actually one of like the real people, quote unquote, because the basics of the rehearsal is that there's fake actors that are pretending to be other people that are real people, and then sometimes there are real people in there inside of this simulation kind of thing. And you know what? Let me just pull up what I got for Wikipedia talking about Robin, because literally just listen to this sentence. It says, seeking a simulated husband, Angela dates Robin, a numerology-obsessed man who wants to have sex with Angela despite her devout Christian beliefs against premarital sex. So that's Robin. What I really want to touch base on is that Robin, like the Wikipedia page said, is a numerology obsessed guy. Throughout the episode that he's in, he is constantly talking about the repeating numbers that are popping up. He talks about him crashing his, let me get it right, because he says it so much, CONTC at 100 miles per hour. And it's just really crazy. But he talks about this repeatedly and points out the different repeating numbers, talking about all connecting it to these numbers are apparently showing up in my life because the I need to be on this show. That's what Robin was coming to, that conclusion, and that he was supposed to be in a relationship with Angela. That's what his guides were directing him to, right? And that was just really something, because then like he does all of these other things and he has so many red flags about him, such as the fact that he just like internally ignores that Angela is not going to have sex with him before they get married, and he's just kind of like, yeah, I get it. You're gonna want to have sex with me. He said even his comment to Fielder about wanting to sleep with Angela even though she is celibate, which he acknowledged came across as crass, was something he could justify. He says, I could just tell. I mean, I'm very good with women. I could just tell she was into me like that, so that's why I even said that. Okay, Robin. I could talk about, Robin is like a whole section in itself, but he talks about angel numbers constantly throughout his little small section segment in the show, right? Because then he ends up leaving or whatever, right? I just think that he is a very good example of how other people in the spiritual community will express their stuff about angel numbers. And it's so funny that there's a lot of people that have seen the rehearsal. They think that Robin is not even a real person. He's actually a paid actor, just like the other people, because who could act like this, right? Let me tell you, there's people out there that act like Robin. There's people out there that act like Robin. Let's go back to talking about his CONTC at 100 miles per hour. He crashed at 100 miles per hour. You want to know how he did that? And the way that they wrote this article, I can't tell if they're trying to make more fun of him, because this article was written to talk about how he felt he was portrayed poorly on that show, which is so funny to me, because it's just like, he said, so I ended up just trying to go back to the house where I'm at with my girlfriend, and I'm driving pretty good most of the time. Then I get on Highway 26 approaching the zoo, and somebody was trying to gas on me. So I started to race him. I end up losing control at 100, going back and forth trying to correct as I'm fishtailing, then just completely lose it and smack into the sidewalk. Now get this, guys, get this. This article, hilarious, says, although he was under the influence of alcohol and marijuana, and was also street racing at the time of the crash, he believes the true culprit was the faulty mechanics of the car itself. Okay? Do you get that? And he is talking about how he's not a bad guy. He said the portrayal is just completely aimed at making me look bad. Robin, I don't know if they were painting him in a bad light. All I know is that they definitely kept showing that he was very much obsessed with the numbers. And like I said, there are people out there that really do act that way. And to me, they're within the spiritual community, they're within the numerology stuff and everything, and they believe in that shit, and it gets to an obsessive point where I feel like they're just trying to attach a meaning to literally everything and anything. But it's just, I mean, if you want to attach a meaning to stuff, that's cool, like, I get that, that's fine. It's just, I feel like we're trying to attach meanings to anything and everything, and I feel like that's when it starts to lose its meaning, because you keep making everything a significant angelic point in time, you know what I mean? And then I also do not understand what the purpose is in a lot of people in, I guess, either the spiritual or manifesting communities or whatever the fuck you want to call it, making prices of stuff like $11.11 or $9.99. My mom had told me that people are more inclined to buy things that are like whole numbers, like a $5 thing instead of $5.50, or a $10 thing, and not so much for the weird numbers where it's like $13 or $8 or something like that. They might be a little less inclined, and that's so weird to me, because again, I guess that just plays a thing in numbers. And if we're being for real, every time that I've seen anything charged at an angel number price, be it like $444 or $2.22 or something like that, every time I see it, I am put off by it. Like, I do not want to purchase it. And I don't know why. I have to go look into myself and figure that out. But it just always seems weird, and maybe that just goes into my belief system of how numbers already are supposed to work with pricing. It all boils down to, though, obsessive behavior. To me. Because you can get super obsessed with looking at your clock or waiting for it to be, ooh, it's 4:44, or doing these things, looking for these patterns, actively seeking for these patterns to a point where it's obsessive. Like I feel like with Robbin from the rehearsal and a lot of other people that I've seen in spiritual communities or just communities in general, just in passing, they get really, really hooked on, ooh, 11:11, that means good things are coming. Ooh, 12:12, the next thing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, bud, how about, what if it's just 12:12? Like, it's just 12:12 p.m. It's gonna be 12:13. Ooh, an angel number. And it's just like, to me, it's like, do you think that your spirit guides, your higher self, God, the universe, whatever, do you think that they are going to be contacting you every motherfucking minute, every motherfucking hour? Do you think they're going to try to get in touch with you and give you messages and hints that frequently? I don't know. I don't think that my guides would do that, and maybe that's why we can segue on into how I feel about angel numbers. I could see 11:11 right now. Unless I feel it, unless I look at it and I feel something from it, I don't take it as an angel number. I take it as it's 3:33 p.m., you know? Like, I don't, it's nothing too crazy. Or, ooh, that's pretty cool that that car has 222 on the license plate or something, right? Awesome that my hotel room has 444 on it, that we get that hotel room, or our concert tickets have that on there. That's so cute. That's so cool. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. But if I don't feel it, then cool. It's not that deep to me. When I do feel it, when I do feel something and I see that number, I treat it as like my guides giving me a heads up, a nudge, a thumbs up, some sort of warning, some sort of thing. And then I also like to see it as like, if nothing's going on and I just happen to look at my clock and it's 11:11, or I look at it or whatever thing and it's that time, I see it as like little meeting points or a phone booth type thing where my guides are present because this is an angelic number, quote unquote, you know? That's what I like to see it as, but that's only if I'm feeling it and have the free time to treat it as such, of just like a meditative area for me to do the things with the numbers, right? Not just with my guides, but just like higher beings in general. That's kind of how I personally see it. I don't know if other people see it that way. I might be real out there with it, but that's how I see it, and I love it. And ever since I've done that, it's been very much more helpful, and I don't fall into that pit of, oh my god, I have to be looking at all of these numbers to make sure that this is the right time, blah blah blah. I don't care, because there is never the right time for anything. It's just, you have to do it or you do something else, you know? Another funny like quip or thing, whatever thing, is like sometimes when I'm putting stuff in the microwave, I'll put like 1 2 3 or 111, because it's easier to tap the same button multiple times instead of trying to do 100. But I'm not trying to do that by like, oh, please bless my food. But I guess I could if I wanted to, but I'm definitely just doing it out of convenience and not to summon my angels, you know? But some people do that. Some people get that obsessed with the numbers, and that's like my minor concern whenever anybody who has anxiety or OCD or any sort of just like obsessive or addictive personality thing, and they can get attached to that type of shit pretty quickly. I think you could get attached to that quickly and start to overanalyze, overthink, just really hyperfixate on numbers, just like Robbin does, to the point where you just kind of have to, you can't let that shit lead your life. Same with horoscopes, same with palm readings or tarot card readings, any of that junk. You can't let that rule your life all the time, like single-handedly, because all it is are guiding things. That's all it is. It's not even a direction, because you can take whatever direction you fucking want at the end of the day. So I don't want people that, you know, get really stressed out. They're like, oh my god, this thing didn't happen. It happened at 11:12, not 11:11. So is it wrong? Did I do something wrong? No, hun, it's not that deep. They just numbers. It's just a pattern that your brain picked up on. If you don't feel it, you don't feel it. It's okay. Anyway, I did not realize I was going to be talking about this that much. I know that a big chunk of it was just Robbin, but that's just because that dude was so interesting to me and really the main reason why I wanted to talk about this anyway, because angel numbers are cool. I think that it's even awesome that the latest video that I put out, it is 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Like, I think that's kind of dope. I'm not like praising it, you know what I mean? I'm not obsessing over it, nor was I even trying to get it to hit 4 minutes and 44 seconds. It just happened to land at that point. Technically 4 minutes 44 seconds and like 10 milliseconds or some shit according to my like timeline bar or something. Either way, it just happened to be that length, and I think that that's cool. Angel numbers are cool. Just don't overanalyze them. Don't get too fixated on them, you know? But anyway, thank you so much for talking with me. Happy new moon. Be sure to start planting your seeds if you want to, about whatever intentions that you want to start to achieve throughout this next moon cycle we're moving into. Check out my sticker store because it's Mermaid, and I'm going to have some more sticker designs or other designs in general of just mermaids and junk. So if that's your speed, definitely go take a look at that. And definitely, like I said before, check out my Patreon. It helps me make this kind of stuff more frequently, as well as just revamp everything and make it the best that it can be. If you want to catch me live and hang out with me live, I stream on Twitch Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So if you want to stop by, just stop by and say hi and everything. I do different shit. Feel free to tell me about how you feel about angel numbers. If you fuck with them, if you don't, if you're indifferent. How do you feel about the rehearsal if you've seen that show? Because holy fuck. And also if you want me to talk more about that show, because I would be more than happy to rewatch it. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Is that what was this?
This?
Oh.
Bong. You know how to hit a bong, right?
You don't have a license plate?
No. It's okay.
But don't you need a license plate to drive?
No.
You don't need a license plate to drive?
No.